and welcome to the Dancing Bear and Koala Power Hour. I am one of your hosts, Koala, and you are?
I am Dancing Bear.
Your autistic prince,
Hey,
of course.
should get that
And,
I'll get that on a shirt.
Maybe. We
Maybe.
could do merch, you know.
Well, we've got to be honest, and obviously our listeners are already aware.
That it's been a while.
It's been a while is an understatement. 3 months of quarantine mayhem, fun for all the family. So obviously, for understandable reasons, we've not been able to do a podcast. But wherever you are in the world, I hope you've kept safe and are still keeping safe.
Yeah, and our hearts do go out to anyone that's lost anyone with corona or is struggling and stuck at home. Maybe this makes your day a bit brighter. And also, obviously, shout out to our American fans, Irish fans, Vietnamese fans,
Saudi Arabian fans,
German fans, know, wherever you are in the world, we love you guys.
And we're not just spouting this, by the way. For anyone who is actually interested, although I couldn't imagine who, yeah, you showed me some statistics yesterday, and I was genuinely gobsmacked. Like, there is people literally all over the world listening to us, so it was quite nice. And what is the biggest part of our audience is American, I believe. A lot of the people that listen to us.
American, UK, Vietnam, and Ireland and Germany are our biggest 5.
Wow.
Which is weird. One of them is a bit weirder than the others, admittedly. Anyway.
We should have to do tours.
Let's,
that'd be pretty amazing. But anyway.
Let's move into.
I was actually going to ask the audience how they are, as if expecting
how are
a
you,
reply.
audience, like Dora the Explorer? But anyway, let's move into it. So we have quite a bit of news to cover.
We do, yes.
We're going to try a new sort of
format
of presenting this. We're going to do segments, which means in the YouTube video we might put the timestamps. What we're going to do is TV news, movie news. Funny news stories, just break it up, or weird news stories, comics, gaming, and who knows,
TV, any form of entertainment.
So platform. It will be in segments. So we each did our own research and sort of control a segment, if you were. I basically do all the work. He does nothing. Not saying anything. Anyway, segment 1. Should we have like a transition? Wayne's World.
Yeah.
But yes, TV.
TV.
/ streaming.
Yes, got a lot to cover on this point.
Warrior Nun!
You want me to cover Warrior Nun? Now,
I mean, it was a surprise show. It dropped out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's one of them shows, I don't know about you. I first looked at it and I laughed. I was like, no. This is going to be one of them. You stick it on for an episode, and there's like a rubber bat on the string. That sort of...
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
To be honest with you, that kind of fantasy serial, when I say that kind, your Supernatural, your Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we haven't had a show quite like that, or at least a new show quite like that for some time. Good. So when I originally heard of Warrior Nun, I could understand the cynicism. I could, but... In all honesty with you, I know you're more further ahead. You've watched the entire...
Yeah, I watched all of it.
You've seen all of season 1. See, I've only seen a couple of episodes, but from what I've seen, it is a good show. It is a really good show.
Fantastic twist at the end.
And it is, like, I think, was it the way you described it? It might not have been, but someone else was trying to get me into Warrior Nun. I'd heard it, being referenced and mentioned a couple of times just in typical conversation. And, people were sort of describing it as Buffy the Vampire Slayer rather meets modern day 21st century. However, I don't think that description alone does it justice, in all fairness.
Let's just get the elephant out of the room. Nuns with guns is an overdone cliche.
No, it ain't, is it?
It really is. Nuns with guns. Shotgun Mary. So the names in it are a bit on the nose, and it's quite cliche, but... As a whole, it's a good show. Do you want to talk more about kind of the setting and things, and then I'll throw in some facts about source material?
Yeah, the setting is... You know what I was looking for, though? It's funny you should bring up the setting. Even though you can tell it's set in modern day.
It's quite on the nose.
Yeah, have you noticed as well, a lot of shows that especially on Netflix, like in order to sort of maintain that they're relevant, you'll always see a smartphone in their hand. And have you never noticed that? A lot of shows, Marvel shows, were quite not bad for that. You don't really see that here. What I can actually say for Warrior Nun is it maintains that balance of making it its own thing, yet making you aware that this is an original story.
World.
This is a well-etched world.
And the acting, I was expecting your cliche B-movie bad acting. The acting ain't that bad.
No, it isn't.
It's quite good.
Isn't actually.
I do want to shout out to the lead actress who plays the new Warrior Nun.
You told me an interesting fact.
This is her first English-speaking role.
No, I thought she was English.
That is amazing, because she's from Brazil.
I believe so. I'm not too sure. You seem more knowledgeal about this.
So a basic rundown is, there's a bunch of nuns that fight demons. Only one of the nuns can see them because they have an angel, like a real life angel's halo in their back. Or is it an angel's halo? Twists at the end. But
not gonna lie, the special effects, without saying too much, it's in the beginning, so I'm not giving too much away. With the halo at the back was pretty cool.
It is pretty unique and cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the halo goes into a new host, and they get magical super god powers. Without leading too much, Halo mission goes wrong. This is in the first 5 minutes. Mission goes wrong. Previous warrior nun dies. The next person that's supposed to be in line isn't, and they have to hide the Halo somewhere. They hide it in a dead body. It brings said dead body back. You have then someone who's not religious at all trying to be trained as a warrior nun, who, mind you, is someone that was previously just dead and a quadriplegic in bed her entire life. She's never done anything.
No.
So when you're told, right, you've now, and raised by nuns who weren't the nicest to her. So when it's like, right,
they were quite negligent, weren't they?
Yeah, this is in you now. Yeah. You now have to be part of our order and forsake our world. What do you mean forsake everything? I've never done anything. I'm going to go run, drink, I want to kiss the boy. You know, all of that. Yeah. And it's like, you kind of sympathise with her.
You do, yeah, because
she has no idea what's going on.
No, she doesn't, and it's a very interesting original tale, isn't it?
There is even like quite a poignant good moment in it where she's genuinely scared to go to sleep because she wakes up and it was all a dream.
And it's a Netflix made show, isn't it?
It is. And source material wise, it is based on a comic book from 1994. Interesting fact about the show.
I was hoping you were going to bring this fact up, actually.
That the person that dies within 5 minutes of the opening is actually the main character of the comic book. Which means imagine watching Iron Man and Tony Stark gets his head blown off in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, and you don't
Technically he does, doesn't he?
You don't see many shows do that,
No.
even today. It's just, okay, arguably, in television within the last 5 to 10 years, you know, people have been more... I'm umming and ahhing whether either to use the word braver or use the word lenient on killing off main characters, because 10, 20 years ago it was just unheard of at one point. So there are shows that do that, but killing the main character of the comic book in the first episode, I've never heard of it in any form of platform doing that before.
So it's pretty good. Admittedly, I don't know too much about the lore behind the comic or anything. I did try and look up to try and get hold of a copy, maybe read it, and I don't really do digital reading comics, but even if I did, it's like gold dust to get hold of, and I'm not paying £200 for a single issue. Yeah. Like, they will, because of the show, they will probably now do loads of reprints. Later on. But yeah, what out of 10, what would you give Warrior Nun to watch people?
Solid 9.
Solid 9?
A solid 9. I was going to say 8 originally. I don't know why, but I anticipated that you were going to ask this kind of question.
I would honestly...
Do you know what? Solid 9.
Out of 10, I'd give it a 7.
Give it a 7.
7. It's fun to watch. Without saying too much, you do kind of have to get over the first 2-3 episodes.
They are, yeah. If anyone's out there looking for a new show, I definitely would say this is it. However, yeah, the first couple of episodes, I'll say, are very much a sludge fest. Is that the correct word to use? Description. But once you get into it, you get into it.
If you liked Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Angel or that sort of thing, watch this. If you don't like too much religious imagery, God, heaven, hell, all that sort of stuff. Bear with it a little bit, trust me.
Yeah,
But
it pays off.
yeah, the whole nun angle does sort of take a step back. Especially there's a nun called Shotgun Mary, who's not a nun. She never took her vows.
No.
That's why she's allowed to come and go whenever.
Yeah.
So she's quite a good one, and you know everyone's kind of got their own weird backstory. But
Yeah.
is there anything else TV news wise? I believe there's something to do with maybe a Dalek.
Yeah.
Is this a thing now? Is it?
Well, there is a new look. That isn't it. Basically, Koala's just shown me imagery of a new Dalek. That's it. He's shown me the correct imagery. Now, for those who haven't seen the new Dalek, I recommend, and are interested in Who Lore, Doctor Who news, I would recommend you pause this podcast, quickly go on Google Images, type in new Dalek, look at it, unpause this podcast, and listen to my thoughts and opinions, because you'll have your own thoughts and opinions.
If you're watching this on YouTube, or listening on YouTube,
type in the comment section what your
just
opinion is.
Just look at the screen.
Right.
I will flash up.
I'm going to be honest, not a huge fan myself.
Well, I've just read that the look of this Dalek came from one episode with Jodie, which I haven't actually watched.
Have you not seen?
No, I never watched it. Never watched season 1.
Why?
I just wasn't interested in that point and was busy with, life.
No,
I was
Doctor Who fans. Cover your ears.
I was working nights. I just didn't have time. I was trying to do reading and gaming and everything, and I just haven't got around to watching season 1.
You never heard of iPlayer? I'm sorry, Koala. You're not getting out of this one.
But anyway,
go on.
So from what I understand, this skinny waist Dalek was only created because the creature inside was it was like a patch job rush sort of to build the shell.
Right.
So it messes with canon, I believe people are saying, because
right.
Why would other Daleks have to do that?
Call me jaded, but people who say, with all due, and I mean this in the most respectable way possible, because I have nothing but respect for my Doctor Who fan peers
over years.
No, you said something about it piqued my interest about Doctor Who canon and continuity. For those who say the Daleks, this new look of Dalek, doesn't fit in with canon and what's said before, here's my answer to you.
All right, enough.
Because basically, with all due respect,
times do change.
I still want to see an established timeline of the Daleks. I'm going to kill the suspense for you. There isn't one. There's never been one. We still, to this day, do not know, in the Daleks' timeline, we have an idea about the Doctors in the Daleks' own timeline, where the time war fits. We don't know that much about the Daleks in terms of timeline, in terms of what's canon. So, for those who say, oh, well, it doesn't fit, where does anything fit with the Daleks? Because...
But, what are your thoughts on the new look?
Oh, I thought I said, sorry.
Good or bad?
Personally, I'm not keen. But, however, I can acknowledge...
that times change.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is an original look. So, I can't dismiss that. And I can... To be honest with you, the Daleks have looked very similar for a long time now.
Yeah.
And
the only difference between the modern Dalek and the previous one is they took the paint off it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's... I can understand why it needed a change. It's not a specific direction I would personally go to. However, I can acknowledge and even respect why it needed a change. Yeah. Let's be honest about this.
Speaking of change, you heard about the whole CW's Batwoman left, Ruby.
Yes, I heard, but
yes.
Yeah.
No one quite knows why she left, but Ruby Rose. She left. She was a fantastic Batwoman. Well, Batwoman has now been recast. Passes the cape and cowl to new star Javicia Lisi.
She's a bonny lass. This is the first time I've seen her.
I will put the picture of her on screen. Now, I'm not going to address anything because, let's face it, if you have a problem with this casting, then the problem is with you.
But for those who get confused when I describe someone as a bonny lass, I just mean that isn't a very attractive woman.
Yeah.
But like
I said, if anyone's got a problem with the casting, The problem is with you. It's
I
not-
acknowledged
it's not-
it, don't worry.
It's not with the casting. I don't know too much about her as an actor, but at the end of the day, when it comes to superhero roles, give anyone a chance because they may surprise you.
Yes, absolutely. And might I just add, with what Koala said about the casting, I completely agree with what he's just said.
It doesn't matter if, a character on screen is, in the book, their skin colour was this, or in the book, they were straight. And it's like, okay, well, it's 2020. Move with the
Look
time.
at Constantine.
Look at...
All I'm saying, don't even have to go down there.
The Doctor.
That's actually a good question, to be fair.
Doctor's changed to a woman now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. As long as the stories are written with the same dedication and the acting is still the same dedication, then you're going to like it.
Do you know what? Oh, you haven't seen any new Doctor Who since Jodie Whittaker's took over, have you?
I saw the last season, yeah.
Oh, you saw the last season. I was going to say to you, there was a lot of people hoping that Jodie Whittaker's Doctor would have some sort of chemistry with Bradley Walsh's Graham. I mean, could you personally see it, or would you?
No, not really.
No.
But people just... That's what fan fiction's for, isn't it? Anyway, also, we've got more Batman news.
Ooh.
So, turns out you've got the Robert Pattinson movie come out.
Can't wait.
Which is part of a trilogy.
Can't wait.
And it deals with Batman within the first year, which is why the suit looks a bit off and the car looks a bit off. He's still trying
looks 80s.
Still trying to define what is Batman, sort of thing. Who am I? We've also got another movie coming. With Michael Keaton returning as Batman.
Is he returning in a movie?
Directed by Tim Burton.
Oh.
We are talking, of course, about a Batman Beyond movie where Michael Keaton, I'm saying his name right, yeah?
Yes, you are.
Is returning as Bruce Wayne, old man Bruce Wayne, who's looking for his successor.
Oh, are they actually making that?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So it's going to be canon with...
I think the first you're going to see of it is the Flash in his own movie is going to visit this parallel universe or this future where Bruce Wayne is an old man and looking for his Terry McGinnis successor.
Right.
If you're with me.
Yeah.
Rumours are... It being directed by Tim Burton, you can probably hold up your hand and go, who's going to be in this movie? Michael Keaton, Helena Bonham Carter, and Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
If rumours are to be believed, Johnny Depp will be the Joker in this future.
Wow. That's cool.
So if anyone knows anything about Batman Beyond, yes, there is a movie coming. When? We have no idea. Maybe 2022, maybe 2023. But the... Robert Pattinson ones are going to be a trilogy of Batman within his first year. Also, on other DC news, since we're now going into the movie realm, we've left TV behind. The Joker is getting a sequel. The Wacky Phoenix Joker is getting
to be honest with you, I'm glad. I am glad about that.
And there is... movie-wise, I think the next couple of Marvel movies are what everyone's waiting for.
Yeah.
And there is a bit of a gap. And of course, everyone wants Spider-Man 3. Do you know who doesn't want Spider-Man 3?
Who?
Who's dragging their feet like, no, you can't release this yet.
Go on. Who is it?
Sony.
Oh, what a surprise. They're usually so cooperative.
I know. And if rumours are to be believed, the movie is basically done. It's complete.
So they've made it?
They've made it. They just need final editing and, all the paperwork and stuff like that. But if rumours are to believe, it's basically done. And also, it might have more developing for the MCU, which the Spider-Man movies are great for because he travels around the world in his friendly neighbourhood. We could see some of the heroes for hire in this.
Yeah.
Your Iron Fist, your Daredevils, your Luke Cages. Heroes for hire.
I have heard that. Yeah. That basically, because at one point it was considered canon that they wasn't part of the MCU universe, and now they are.
They were, then they weren't, now they're still not, but they might be again. Even if it's not the same actors, though.
Right.
But I will be very upset if they bring Daredevil properly into the MCU and it's not the guy from the series, because he is fantastic.
We've discussed it at length as well. Sorry to cut you off there, but there was something I wanted to acknowledge as well, because I am not lying to you. I'm glad you bring up the MCU, because obviously all right, okay, yes, it's yesterday's news. And I've asked you a couple of times. I'm terrible for remembering what you've actually said, but the reason why I bring it up again is people have actually asked me to talk about it in this podcast, or the next podcast I do. They didn't know when I was doing a podcast. And a question I get asked a lot, including a dear friend of mine, is should they consider Venom as part of the MCU? Now, originally, people acknowledged the fact that it wasn't part of the MCU. To be honest with you, I don't feel qualified to answer this question, so I'll leave
I am qualified.
Yeah. I shall leave it in your capable
hands. As it
hands.
stands, Venom is part of Sony's villain dark Marvel universe. I don't think they've got a proper name for it. Basically,
Sonyverse.
Maybe.
Call it the Sonyverse.
You've got Morbius, the living vampire.
Yeah.
Venom 2, and possibly a few other. Those. The thing with the rights of Spider-Man is they may be on loan to Disney, but the best part of Spider-Man is his villains.
Oh, it's me. That's sorry. Go on.
So the best part of Spider-Man is his villains. Spider-Man has some of the greatest, most recognizable Marvel villains. You've got Venom, you've got Carnage, you've got all sorts.
Yeah.
So what the plan was, one of the directors even said, with Venom, I have the freedom to make darker Spider-Man movies, essentially.
Yeah.
And the route this sort of universe is going down, that Venom started, is a universe populated where the heroes are all anti-heroes. These are the bad guys, but they're not the baddest of guys.
Right.
They may be bad guys, but they're not bad guys.
So they're misunderstood.
No, Venom still eats people.
He's misunderstood.
You don't misunderstand that.
He only eats, but the way that the film established it is he persuaded Venom to only eat, and I bend my fingers saying this, bad people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Venom is part of its own universe. However, it might have a cameo. It's like the Morbius movie, the trailer, which I think looks alright if they do it right. If not, it could be a steaming pile of symbiote goo.
Love how you did that.
It actually has hints in it that Spider-Man either used to exist in this world or does exist in this world.
Morbius.
Yeah, and as you know, there are multiple Spider-Mans across multiple different universes.
There is a Spider-Verse.
Yes, there is. There's also a Venom-verse and an Iron Man-verse. What's your point?
But no, with the animation, I never actually saw it. That came out.
It's Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. So
yeah. That's what I was referencing mainly.
This could set up a universe where maybe the villains actually took out Spider-Man, so there's a power void which is going to be filled by Venom and this team of anti-heroes.
Which one would you prefer? You're the Marvel fan in this podcast. You're the bigger Marvel fan in this podcast.
I like Venom and Spider-Man's bromance.
Right. No, I mean, I get what you're saying. Would you prefer it yourself if they included Venom into the MCU, or would you rather him exist in his own? We'll call it the Sonyverse, just for
or the Venomverse. I quite like it being a separate universe.
You quite like it being a separate universe,
but I would like some sort of interdimensional shenanigans with one of the Power Stones, or not the Power Stones, obviously the Space Stone. Because I just want to see Carnage versus the Avengers, or Venom. They could do all sorts of things with this. I'm not entirely sure how they do it, but yes, Venom is a separate universe. So, anyway. If anyone liked The Boys on Amazon, which was a roller coaster ride of a parody superhero show, have you seen it?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Right. Very dark, adult humour. Do not let your kids watch it. Season 2 is coming, and for all those of you that watched Season 1, and if you haven't, then I want anyone who's not seen The Boys, I want you to hold your hand up, like so.
You want me to do
stick
that?
It. Right. Grab that pencil. Right.
Bearing in mind I'm left-handed.
Yeah. Now, slot your pencil between imagine you were doing like the Vulcan.
Right.
Yep.
So if I...
Yep. Now put the pencil between the gap.
What? So you want me to do the Vulcan stance?
The Vulcan, live long and prosper.
Describe to the audience what you're doing.
So he's doing the Vulcan live long and prosper sign, and he's got a pencil between it. Now close your fingers as hard as you can.
That hurts.
Yeah, it does. That's what you get for not watching The Boys. Anyway, the audience is all sat there like, ah! I mean, hopefully they've watched The Boys. If you're old enough to watch it, watch it. It is gory, it is bloody, there is swearing, and Carl Urban is fantastic in it. He has an entire motivational speech about the Spice Girls. What it is
memorable.
Very memorable. Basically, what it is, in a world where superheroes exist, they've all got corporate sponsors, and imagine Superman with a Pepsi logo on him or something. They have to have these rules, but behind the scenes are still people. They're powerful and they're horribly corrupt. So you have like,
sounds a bit like Watchmen.
So you would have
more sinister
and
version.
Carl Urban wants to kill the literal facsimile of the Justice League. There's an Aquaman, there's a Superman, all that, because they killed his wife. And they get someone else to join them who stood there on a street corner with his girlfriend, and the character that is portrayed to be the Flash runs through his girlfriend at like 200 miles an hour. There is not much left but a red smear, and he stood there holding their hands. Like,
wow.
It is dark humour and hilarious. But anyway, season 2 is coming in September, and Seth Rogen has promised that all the stuff you thought was bad in season 1 that they thought they wouldn't get away with, they've now got a higher budget, and they're going to do stuff in the comics that they didn't think they'd ever be allowed to be shown on TV.
Wow. That's
so
cool.
Be prepared for that. If you haven't, catch up on The Boys. I'm not spoiling anymore.
No worries.
So it's just some quickfire gaming news. My Friend Pedro TV series is coming. If you haven't played the game, let me give you a brief summary and just get your reaction. I'm instantly going to move on and not explain anymore. Your best friend is a banana. You have moves like John Wick and can backflip and slow down time for no inexplicable reason. And you can ricochet bullets off of frying pans to kill entire rooms of guys. Fallout. Anyone that loves Fallout.
Love Fallout.
Yeah, the games.
Yeah.
Amazon is doing a TV series of it, and no one is sure whether it will pay off or not because we don't know anything about it. This could be The Walking Dead without zombies.
Ooh.
If you're with me. Anyone that knows, anyone that's played Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, anyone that's not into gaming, Fallout is an alternate history world where technology advanced, but like the technology in like 80s sci-fi shows, what they thought the future would look like. And then someone nuked the entire planet. China nuked America nuked China. There's possibly aliens that exist in the world, like that sort of like hidden lore in the background. There's mutants, technology. There's but there are vaults all over the world, and these vaults opened up at various different stages. Some 100 years, some 20 years, some straight away after the bombs fell. And it's just people trying to make a living.
Wow.
So
that's cool, man. I do like my Fallout.
Now on to
Crash Bandicoot
gaming
4.
news.
Oh, gaming.
Yes, indeed. Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. That's its full title. It was announced. It's been
a play on words in the title.
Yes.
Notice.
Well, it's been what? Crash Bandicoot 3 was on the PlayStation 1, so it's got to have been at least 20 years.
Jeez.
Since
it is. Hence the title.
It's about time.
About time.
I don't know if you've seen anything on it, but
I haven't. I leave in your capable hands.
It looks like a return to old school gaming. There was a lot of worried fans because the first thing they did was announce DLC, paid content after the game, which we don't want. We want buy game, big dumb box play game. We don't want any more of that, loot crates and that, and buy a half finished game, pay for the rest. When it comes to Crash Bandicoot, this has the kind of following and fandom that if you do this wrong, they are worse than Who fans.
Really?
Yeah, Doctor Who fans. Like, think of the nostalgia. Crash Bandicoot is a lot of people's childhood. for a fourth one to come out now on PS4 and possibly PS5, which I will get to in a minute. It's gotta be old school gaming with the things that we maybe rose-tinted glasses forget about how bad old school gaming was sometimes. You know, we want to be able to spin the camera, turn around.
Sorry to change the subject ever so slightly, but you said something about Doctor Who having the worst fan base. I could piss off an entire fan base with 4 words. Han didn't shoot first. There you go. Everyone's annoyed.
Exactly. Like, fan bases are sometimes fanatical. We apologise for any language.
Yeah, edit that out and just put a zit or Han didn't shoot first. But carry on.
As I mentioned, the PS5, we finally know what the PS5 looks like.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
Wi-Fi router.
I was thinking that actually. It looks like I pronounce it router. But router.
I do like that they've brought out that you can pick up one with a disc drive and one that's digital only for the more modern person. Now, I still like collecting physical discs. I am a collector. That's what I do.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do. To be honest with you,
but they're given the choice. Now, I genuinely believe, like, we know all the specs and everything. We might know the price. We're not entirely sure yet, but it's probably going to sit around the 500 for the disc one, 400 for the not disc one, or maybe 450 for the disc one. But it's definitely below 600.
Wow.
This could possibly be, in all seriousness, the last generation of consoles, of home consoles, that has a disc drive.
You sound like... I'm going to be honest with you, as you call it proverbially, you know, turning the curtains to slightly, so behind the scenes. We had a very similar conversation over the phone, and you know what? It's bizarre. The way you've just said it then, I couldn't help but detect a certain sadness in the tone of your voice. I mean, the way you said it, unfortunately.
Anyone listening to this, most likely you're in your early 20s or late 20s, and you remember going into GameStop, or whatever your country's equivalent is, running in there with your, like, mum or dad or older brother. You had pocket money. You went, you picked up a PS2 game or an Xbox 360 game, and you took that one game home and you put that disc in and you played it. And then once it was done, you pull it on your shelf like the equivalent of a hunter from the 1900s. That's your lion on the wall there. That game is done. That game is completed. I bested that monster. The problem I find with digital games and markets and things like that is I will buy 10, 20 games and I'll only play one of them and the rest are just sat there. But when it's on disc, you're more compelled to... I used to sit there, get all my games off the shelf as a child with PS2 games, and have the pile of completion and the pile of not completion. What do I want to play? Done. I only got halfway through that. Done. Never played that. Done. You know?
And try and give you some incentives so you'd look at the games you haven't yet completed.
Yeah.
And so, right, I get what you're trying to say now.
But this was the time there wasn't really online play on, like, consoles.
Yeah.
And, you know, pocket money was, you know, still earned as a child.
Oh, I didn't have to earn mine. I never did chores as a kid. I was quite spoiled.
You just kind of... You had that one game, you had to play it, like, until you could save up the money to get a game.
Yeah.
I
remember we used to get £20 like every Saturday morning, and I used to save it up. And when I used to go to school, like, you used to buy crates of energy drink just for the sake of it. Yeah, I remember doing that.
Them were the days.
Yeah, do you remember? Sorry to cut you off there. Change subjects ever so slightly. What was your go-to energy drink?
My go-to energy
we are of that generation where energy drinks was sort of in, but wasn't being used.
Do you remember
longer.
energy shots?
No, I've seen it.
Yeah,
I never really...
They were big back in, like, the early... I'd say, like, 2008-ish time when I was in high school. Everyone used to drink them. But go-to energy drink?
Relentless. You strike me as a monster.
No, I was a basic Boost kind of guy.
Boost.
Bottle of Boost.
Was you? Bottle of Boost. I remember I used to buy every Friday, right? We used to go in Tesco's just before school, and we used to buy a 1.5 litre bottle of Kick. Did you ever see that in Tesco? Kick. That's an energy drink.
This is going off tangent, but what is your favourite off-brand item? You know, like, you go in and it's like, that is definitely designed to look like a bottle of Boost. Or that has the same colours. I love,
man.
and everyone in the UK that is listening that is of mine and your age, in your 20s, if I say, I don't want Pringles, I want Stacks.
Yeah. I tell you what's good for stuff like that as well, not just with energy drinks, is Lidl. Like,
oh, I love. Have you ever walked in and seen, like, I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any of the stuff online, like some of the other brands? It's like,
Yeah.
it is not butter, or what? Not
Yeah.
butter? Question mark. I love it.
It's funny.
Off-brand stuff is brilliant.
I bought once, or rather, my dad bought me a pair of shoes. My dad bought me a pair of shoes, and was it Rockports? Was it Rockports?
Yeah.
There was the in shoes to wear, weren't there, back at school? And I said to my dad, I wanted some Rockports. Was it Rockports? I'm basically they were the in shoes. If you weren't wearing them or Timberlands, you weren't
pair of Timbers.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm yelling timber.
And I remember saying to my dad, I wanted to buy some Rockports. He goes to Shoe Zone in Blackburn. Bearing in mind, I said specifically Rockports. He comes back with a pair. It says Rockford. I ain't even kidding.
Oh, I love
God.
Stuff like it's like,
yeah.
It's like, I love them pictures, them memes, and it's like, Mum, can I get Kit Kats? No, we've got Kit Kats at home, and it's like cat kits from like Lidl. Stuff like they're always designed to
yeah, funny stuff.
Or
do you remember Viscounts?
Oh,
do you remember them in the green wrapper?
Yeah.
Like I saw some of them the other day actually in Lidl, but they were called. They weren't called Viscounts. It was no Oreos. Go to Lidl. They're called Neos.
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
Lidl off-brand stuff is brilliant.
Yeah.
But moving back on, we're now in like comic news section here.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to talk about comic news. Just that Marvel Comics now owns the rights to the Aliens vs Predator franchise as a whole. So could we see some Aliens vs Predator movies made by Marvel other than just the comics they're going to bring out? And could we see crossovers like this rather lovely picture of Predator holding?
Would you like to see crossovers? What would... You're the comic book
I wouldn't
fan here.
I wouldn't like to see crossovers, but what I would like to see is a decent Predator movie.
See, I like me Alien, mate. I know what you're saying.
Decent Alien movie. I reckon
Yeah.
Marvel and the way they make movies, they could, if anyone could have a shot at making a decent Aliens vs Predator universe,
J.J.
it's Marvel.
Oh, Marvel. With
Marvel
J.J.
handled
Abrams.
that. They've handled the MCU fantastic. But yeah, be prepared for like the next string of Aliens and Predators comics and extended
Would you
lore.
want a continuation or would you want a complete reboot? Like, where would you like to see him go with this?
What I want to know is, does the previous canon count? Because Dark Horse has owned it for years, and Dark Horse had some like amazing comics. Like there's, for anyone that doesn't know, the second Predator movie.
Yeah.
When that last Predator,
I've just noticed.
Yeah.
Are you going to bring that up?
I just have.
Oh, I didn't hear what he's carrying Iron Man's out.
Lovely artwork of a Predator holding Iron Man's head.
Oh, of course you did, yeah. I just noticed that and all.
But yeah, the gun he gives him at the end of the second movie?
Yeah.
From like 1800s.
Yeah.
They made an extended lore comic about that, and it's fantastic. Predator comes down, or one of the Predators comes down to hunt someone in the 1800s, goes after a pirate. Before Predator kills this guy, his crew mutinies. Predator, that's dishonourable.
Yeah.
So the Predator fights back to back with the pirate. And in the end, they respect each other enough. Predator gives the pirate like his spear. Pirate gives Predator his gun. They go their separate ways.
And that's considered canon?
Mm.
Wow, that's cool.
Or it was. Who knows what Marvel's going to do?
Yeah.
But I don't even know what time are we on? We're on the 38-minute... 40 minutes you've been listening to us, dear listener.
Just feel, to be honest with you, I think it shows as well that we're enjoying ourselves. I feel like we've only been doing this 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, we do have to apologise as well, in case our sound quality is all over the place. This is the first time this mic has been plugged in and turned on in a while, and our setup has to be dismantled and moved from things from place to place because we don't have a permanent storage, do we?
No.
It's either at yours or at mine or whatever. So, yeah. Bear with us a little bit. Bear, get it?
Bear with us.
That's
Get
bear
it?
and koala.
Do you know what though? It's funny actually, and I'm not making this up. I want to say his name. I've spoke to you about him many times, but I don't know if he'd appreciate me saying his name on her. So I will just say my close friend, who you have heard me mention many a times, actually asked me when I last saw him, and I didn't show him that picture we once uploaded on social media, and he asked me, what does koala actually look like? And do you know what my response was? I said, you look like Sting. No, I didn't. I said, from police, no, I didn't say that. I said, and I actually did say this, as sort of to wind him up, and partly true, I said, I said to my friend, and he said his name then, you have a very David Bowie vibe about you.
Yeah, I've got one eye bigger than the other, and one's different colour.
So to add to the mystery of what you look like.
Dun, dun. Well, I mean, we might get a camera later on, and we do want to start doing interviews and things like that, and, you know, branch out into other things. But I will put this video that I'm about to show you in the weird news section on the YouTube video. It will just be breaks, so you will in a second watch it. So this is a story that caught my attention ages ago, and it's man caught stealing ice cream during news report is greatest theft in film history.
Are you going to play it?
Yeah, just watch this.
Let's have a look.
Okay, so are you ready to see the greatest theft of all time?
Let's have a look, man.
Watch this man steal ice cream. Dun dun dun.
Oh wow!
Just look at that. At an ice hockey match, like, just
now what you got to ask yourself
is how did he get away with it? Like,
No.
on live TV.
Well, yeah, that as well.
And how did the guy not realise?
No. There's a bigger question.
What flavour was the ice cream?
No. We all would have done the same.
No.
Yeah.
Pre-licked ice cream in now day and age.
Yeah. No, I totally would not do that.
As you run down the road with 5 litres of Ben and Jerry's. But, can you imagine, like, on live TV, just, like, the way
that's why he did it.
The way he just lifted that. But is the guy next to him his mate? Go on, spitball here. If someone did that to you, you'd be absolutely livid. Personally, I'd respect the hustle. Like, how did I not realise that ice cream cone is coming out my hand?
Yeah.
Also, why am I eating ice cream in an ice hockey match?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I mean, maybe people do that. I don't know. I'd personally like something hot, like chips.
Like chips. Or fries, as our American friends would say.
I'd like some French fried potatoes, please. But yeah, no. What did you think of that? Like, that is
random. I think it's the best. Is the word I'm looking for here.
I'm gonna pay that. I'm gonna find that man. I'm gonna pay him to steal the crown jewels. Because I reckon he could do it. Just
yeah, very random, isn't it? That it's
here's another one for you. So, would you like to read out this headline?
Man fined £450 for provocative fire in front of police officers. Wow, that must have been one loud fart.
How do you provocatively fart at a woman?
I don't know, he might have directed it. Why would you get fined for it?
Okay, so to give you some context into this, a man decided, like, he was mouthing up to the police first, and he decided to just turn around and just squeeze one out with one leg raised, looking directly in the eyes of a female police officer. And they fined him on the spot $450, which the man immediately was like, no, come on, it's just a joke. Now, it is a fine in all but name. It is not actually a fine. He could appeal it and they can't actually fine him for a natural bodily function. But it was more to put, like, the fear of God in him.
Yeah.
But also the fact that there is a woman police officer out there. There is a bunch of police officers out there that looked a guy dead in the eyes who looked at them and let one crack from that place deep down in his soul and went, "Here's 450 quid fine, you're nicked, my son." Like,
do you know what? I ain't gonna lie to you, and I don't think you'll mind me saying this. That is so pedantic and jaded. In all honesty with you, I could actually imagine you doing that. Like, I can imagine you being in that kind of situation and you doing that.
like,
No, I seriously can't.
The weird news section is
Yeah.
brilliant here. So here's the next news. Now, this is actually really old news. That a banana sellotaped to a wall has sold for 120,000
because
it's modern art.
modern art.
Modern art.
What do you think of that? Presuming you're gonna.
Now, you've paid 120,000 for this banana,
Yeah.
right? You're going to have to change the banana every now and then, and you're going to have to change the tape every now and then. So you paid $150,000 for something that probably only cost you like $1. It's a banana and a piece of gaff tape.
I'm just annoyed I haven't
duct
thought of
tape.
it myself.
I know. Here's the funny thing, though. The guy that bought it, story after this, to continue the saga of the banana on the wall. And it's literally just a banana duct taped to a wall. A guest went round his house, didn't realise what it was, pulled it off and ate the banana.
Really?
He's like, what that banana tastes like, mate? 120,000. I think not.
Why would you pay that much more? That I get modern art and
Like, there are some weird things, and there are some nice things in modern art, like the pickled cows and things like that, but a banana sellotape to a wall. 120,000.
But when you look at the works of Banksy compared to that, it's no comparison, is there? Like, I don't understand why someone would pay such an extravagant amount of money for a banana duct taped to a wall. And maybe I am seeing it in a black and white context. It's a banana duct taped to the wall, though. Do you know what I mean? I don't.
I know, it just boggles the mind. But I'm hoping at least, let's have a read. Does this money raised go to charity? Maybe that's why, you know? Look, that's it on display. All these other priceless works of art, and it's there.
Still better than a banana duct taped to the wall.
It's more the name of the artist. He previously, or it might be a she, I don't actually know. Previously made a solid gold toilet stolen from Buckingham Palace. Okay, so he stole the toilet. After 15-year hiatus, Maruzo has returned, and we're fortunate to collaborate. The banana is many things. A symbol of global trade, a witty double entendre, and a classic device of humour.
With all due respect, I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on that myself.
No, that's someone taking the mick.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
And I'd be okay with it if the money went to charity, but there is someone out there who bought that and thought that was a bargain. Because this artist, this Maruzo or whatever his name is, yeah, that's one of his classic pieces, and it's like, okay. Oh no, do you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember that classic scene in Only Fools and Horses? This is the same broom I've had for 20 years.
Yeah.
I've changed its head and his body numerous times. Well, it's not the same broom then, is it? Because you're going to have to do that with that, aren't you? You're going to have to keep changing the banana and keep changing the duct tape. And it's not a plastic banana, people. It's a real banana. Next weird news story. News, but not that you know it. Do you want to read the title?
Man with horse and cart furious after being refused service at KFC drive-thru.
So, it's part way through lockdown. There's a man, he's got a horse and carriage, single horse, lovely horse, 4 legs and everything. No, that's not the main part of this article, but
it's a lovely looking horse, though.
yeah. When lockdown, when you find out McDonald's is open again, yes, like, and it's only drive-through, and you've got a horse and carriage, well, you want to be eco-friendly, don't you?
Yeah.
And a horse is eco-friendly because a horse is alive. Should KFC have served him?
My opinion?
It's got wheels.
Yeah,
He
why
drives it.
not? Why not?
55-year-old man. Look at how disgruntled he looks.
Look how sad the horse looks.
I know. Well, the horse wanted them popcorn chickens. What I like is the logo. Here's something for people. The logo of the Colonel. Proper head. Why has he got such a tiny stickman body? You'll never unsee that now.
Yeah, actually.
In the end, I had to go to McDonald's for a Big Mac. No one batted an eyelid there. So after being turned away from KFC, he went to McDonald's and went, oh, man on a horse. Yeah, fair enough.
So you're saying KFC was the
think
intolerant party?
Yeah, I think this is a quote from him. I think my treatment from KFC has been downright disgusting and discriminate against people with horses and carts. The horse and cart is a common way to get round from where I'm from.
Wow. Poor guy. My pencil.
Sorry, people, he's been chewing a pencil and it really annoyed me.
My pencil. But
wow. The horse is called John John.
John the horse.
Well, John, I'm gonna buy John some like popcorn chicken when I see him.
Oh wow, that's quite sad, isn't it? To be honest with you, I wonder what the reasons were for that when you think about it.
He was going to order a bargain bucket and the manager said he's not allowed. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I'd done nothing wrong. John was behaving himself. He was quiet as a lamb. Or well, quiet as a horse that's not saying anything. If he's a lamb, I'd be worried.
Why would you be? Not the strongest analogy, but yeah.
Yeah.
But still, yeah. Such a quite a shame, to be honest with you.
So basically, people, I want anyone listening now, if you've got a horse and carriage, I want every single one of you to stack up at a KFC drive-thru. We are going to fight the system now.
Go on strike, create picket lines.
No, just go for the drive-thru of KFC. I don't want to create
mate, create a blockade.
Have you ever tried to get between people and popcorn chicken?
Be interesting.
But yeah.
Anyway, do we have some other news? I believe
we have one more weird news story, possibly. Yeah, we're on 51.
Right.
You're nearly at the end, dear listener. This has been quite a weird, surreal.
To be honest,
started off with nerdy news, and now we're talking about men not being able to go for a KFC drive-thru with a horse, and duct tapes, bananas, and I'm gonna have fun editing this one. It's mostly been weird news. We can go back to movies or something. If you know any other news. Do you want to talk about this one?
This one has piqued my interest. Should I read the headline out?
Go on then.
Per hired for man's broom sexual fantasy. Turn up in bedroom at wrong address with machetes. You heard that right.
So, I saw this and I just couldn't stop laughing now. This is an Australian news story, so only in Australia, people.
Good eye.
So, basically, what happened is a guy wanted... he had a fantasy of two people breaking into his house, tying him up and getting basic information out of him. You know, like someone kicks down your door in the middle of the night and screaming, "Is your name Kevin? Is your name Kevin? How many kids do you have? What's your dog's name? What is your favourite colour of squirrel?" You know, the weird stuff. And he paid these two guys. He told them the way into the house.
Yeah.
He told them the address. He told them, you know, don't actually hurt me, but make it, you know, good, because this is his thing. If anyone's knowing, this is his sexual fantasy. This is going to get him going. He wants to be tied to a bed and he wants men screaming at him and threatening him. This is so quite weird. So these two guys agree. He pays them. Fair enough. Australia. So the guy's all ready for this. He's laying in bed one night. Can't wait for this. Two men are gonna break in here any minute. I'm gonna pretend to be asleep and
yeah.
I'm raring to go, mate. It dawns on him. It dawns on him too late that he moved house and he didn't tell these two people. So these two people, they've got the money. They turn up at the job at 6 o'clock in the morning. They go into the bedroom. they tie said man to bed that they think is Kevin. While stood there in ski masks with machete, with this poor man that lives alone, they are screaming in his face, "Is your name Kevin?" No, 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 it's not Kevin, it's not Kevin. Who are you? Get out of my house.
Yeah.
After about 20 minutes or so, your name's really not Kevin, isn't it? No, my name's not Kevin at all. The owner of who moved house rings up his old house. They pick up the phone. All right, boys, it's Kevin. I'm sorry to say this, but I forgot to tell you. I moved house. I didn't tell you. You're in right day, right time. Wrong house. Oh. Now what happens next is the most Australian thing I've ever heard. These two men in hockey masks or ski masks or whatever, with machetes, cut the guy loose, say, "Sorry, mate, we took a couple of tinnies from your fridge, a couple of cans of bevies." No hard feelings, and they just left. They said they'd replace his beer later. They've left this poor man traumatised. Like, only in Australia could this happen. Like, honestly, this is... Can you imagine?
Wow. Just poor guy. In a way, though, in a very sinister way, that is brilliant. Like, do you know... Oh, poor guy. Oh, he was an old man, wasn't he? Was he an old man? How old was he?
The fantasy was unscripted, but there were directions how they were supposed to carry it out. They carried machetes either as a prop or for something to use in the fantasy, so it's already quite weird there. Concerning the facts of the case are unusual. The judge said set out his reasons for not guilty verdicts because, you know, the men's actions were unintentional.
Wow.
I mean...
Some people have the most bizarre fantasies going, don't they?
I mean, they do. But on that last and final good farewell note, we're at 56.
Wow. So last thoughts overall about the podcast. If we seem a little out of it, it's probably because it's been such a long time since we last did one.
Maybe 4 months.
Yeah.
Because unlike I do get a lot of stick for this. A lot of people say, "Well, why don't you just do it over Skype, or why don't you just do it over Discord, or some other talky thing like Zoom?" And we prefer the face to face.
Yes, we do.
We bounce off each other better.
Yeah.
Face to face. There's more banter. Plus, sometimes you do it online. Yeah,
it
all right.
Cuts off.
It cuts
Blah,
off.
blah, blah,
You're
blah,
1
blah.
second behind. I can't do things like surprise you with a news story like that.
Yeah.
As adequately. It's just one of them. It swings and roundabouts. This is the way we do things. We like to be in the same room. We like to talk. We like to catch up beforehand. We have to do research, and it's a lot easier to sort of keep Dancing Bear in check if I'm sat here.
Yeah.
Like, I also apologise. I've got no fisherman's friends this weekend.
I know.
So
if
my voice is a bit weird. I mean,
oh yeah, I've still got a bone to pick with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, it's quite understandable because obviously it was quarantine.
Yeah.
But it was my birthday during quarantine.
If I showed you 2 pictures of planet Earth of before you told me that and after you told me that, there would still be no one on the planet that cared.
No, but you promised that to get Jennifer Lawrence on my doorstep.
I don't remember promising that.
Yeah, you did. You did last Christmas as well, and you turned up short-handed. It'll happen one day, ladies and gentlemen.
It won't. Jennifer Lawrence will never listen to this podcast, and she will never meet you.
You never know. It will happen. Just to meet me for a brew. What was it like in Hunger Games? That's all I asked.
Does Jennifer Lawrence even understand the phrase "meet up for a brew"?
If I said to her, "Meet up for Starbucks," surely.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Okay. I have been Dancing Bear.
And I've been Koala. And thank you so much for listening to this first podcast in like 3 months.
I was going to say, I don't even remember what we say. We say something towards the end. Oh yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe.
No, don't do that again. Like, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, just a quick roundup. Thank you to all our fans in several different countries.
And as always...
No, we ain't finished yet, boy.
Oh, we ain't finished
boy.
yet.
Thank you to
Oh, we're saying thank you to people.
We are saying thank you to listeners in
the United
we've never
States,
actually done that. The United States,
the United Kingdom, Vietnam, Ireland, Turkey, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Iran, India, and Egypt. Why did we say that at the exact same time then?
Because I kind of pointed at it and said it, and each one and nodded at you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And obviously, from stats, we know that most of you are listening on Spotify or YouTube. Some on Apple Podcasts, but I mean, who uses Apple products anymore, huh? It's not like the iPhone's one of the biggest selling phones in the world. Basically, if you know someone with an iPhone and they're not listening to our podcast, I want you to run at them and scream and drop kick them. No, I don't really want you to do that. I don't condone violence in any way. But what I would like is comments underneath the YouTube video or on our Twitter at Dancing Bear and Koala. I want everyone to show pictures of take pictures of where you're listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in the picture. I want pictures or links to pictures of where are you when you listen to our podcast, because I'm curious about that. Do people listen to it at dinner time, morning, afternoon, when they're driving? I just want... If you listen to it while driving, when it's safe to, just take a picture of out your windscreen.
So yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, in case you are listening, please take a picture.
Yeah, no, that's not. That fantasy needs to stop.
No, of her surroundings, I was going to say. You see, you never let me finish the sentence.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, no. As now for the final time.
I have been Dancing Bear.
And I have been Koala.
And as always, peace out. I think I say that at the end.
Like, comment, subscribe. Ha, I got it.